United States, there are over 500 indigenous tribes, while in Oklahoma there are 39 federally recognized tribes. American Indians have always served in the United States military by a greater percentage of their population more than any other group. And during World War II, American Indians used their skills and knowledge, speaking their individual languages as code talkers, sending messages in code that America's enemies could not decipher. The United States government forced the children of American Indians to attend boarding schools in an effort to strip away the language and knowledge of their tribal identities and traditional lifeways. The U.S. effort was described as destroying the Indian and saving the person, which it did neither of these things. The schools taught subservient skills such as cleaning houses, farm labor, and aimed the students to seek lower level and lower paying jobs. Although slavery had ended in a bloody war, the workforce of the slaves were to be replaced by American Indians who would graduate from these boarding schools where many students did not graduate but died, as it has recently been discovered. Quanah Parker, the last greatest war chief of the tribe known as the Lords of the Plains, the powerful Comanche Nation, Chief Parker was a principal emissary of the Southwest Indigenous American Indians to the United States legislature, negotiating important elements of various treaties between the tribes and the United States government. While on the eastern portion of the state of Oklahoma, the Cherokee Nation was established after their removal from the southeastern part of the United States. Their new homeland comprised approximately 183 million acres at statehood. After the Allotment Act, their land holdings diminished to 48 million acres in 14 counties of northeast Oklahoma. Although the United States' efforts to diminish tribes and their people, today tribal sovereignty is celebrated by all tribes in individual ways. The Osage at the Sovereignty Day dance held in Pawhuska each spring brings together tribal members to recognize and celebrate tribal sovereignty. The beautiful Gourd dance honors veteran groups and individuals. American Indians did not turn their backs to Vietnam veterans, but rather held honor dances for soldiers when they embarked on their military tour of duty and when they returned home from Vietnam. Men and women who serve in the military are held in great esteem by the tribe. In December 2018, a Comanche elder by the name of Michael Torable took a resolution to the Muskogee City Council requesting the City Council to recognize and declare the second Monday in October as Indigenous Peoples Day. In January 2019, a group of local Native Americans from various tribes formed an organization called Indigenous Peoples of Muskogee, which was later changed to Muskogee, Oklahoma Native American Association. Mona created a 4-day weekend celebration in 2019 exhibiting cultural and arts and crafts celebrations from Stomp Dance, a film festival, a rock and roll concert, a hymn and worship service, and a wonderful celebration at Honor Heights Park where we held a march in honor of the murdered and missing Indigenous women. We had tribal dignitaries including Councilman Mike Dobbins from District 4, keynote speakers Margot Gray, Dr. Lahoma Schultz, and Rosalind Brown. Our march included members of various tribes carrying tribal flags and princesses representing their tribes and organizations. We also had our Sergeant of Arms and our Executive Director taking part in our opening ceremonies. The Women's Praise Group provided beautiful music for all to enjoy.
Okay. Someone just give me the sign if I start walking out, because sometimes I'll do that. But so what I want to impart with you today is talking about the tools that you young women will need to empower yourselves. Number one, do what I'm doing right now. Don't be afraid to stand up and talk, and to use your voice to tell about our history, to talk about our experiences, to talk about what is right and what is wrong in Indian country. We need you to continue to go to school. I don't want to sound preachy, but I'm going to tell you this. That knowledge is power. We didn't have that over 100 years ago, not understanding the legal documents of what treaties were and how that would take away from us. So now it's important to understand everything that we can do to help empower our young women.
Dr. Lahoma Schultz empowered our Native people by giving a great speech at our celebration. Councilman Ivory Van, a proud Mona supporter, and Rosalind Brown was also a keynote speaker as well. She represented the Project A Association. Despite of the COVID-19 pandemic last year, we were able to have a one-day celebration, and here is a fundraiser that we had selling Indian tacos to raise money for our 2020 Mona Indigenous Peoples Day celebration. Mike Stopp, a Cherokee veteran, sang the national anthem and America the Beautiful in Cherokee. Mayor Marlon Coleman presented us with our proclamation for Indigenous Peoples Day at our celebration. United States Marine Corps veteran Philip Bugsy Barnosky helped us recognize our Native American veterans and also danced with local veterans at our celebration last year. Jack Revis, a Cherokee citizen and AP history teacher from Muskogee High School, was our keynote speaker. He provided a wonderful speech about Native American history.
My name is David Idaho. I'm a retired Department of Interior employee after 42 years. I'm working with the Muskogee Indian community. Also, my children's enrollment group first when it first started, so I'm kind of familiar with what they're doing. I'm a full-course Muskogee citizen, and I just like to work with kids. I'm a sports official, and I just rather stay home. Thank you.
My name is Stanley Smith. I'm an enrolled Ponca tribal member, and I am the executive director for the Muskogee, Oklahoma Native American Association. I've been in this position for 3 years now.
Why should Indigenous Day be celebrated?
Well, Indigenous Day should be celebrated because we are the original people of this country, and because Columbus didn't find this country, we found Columbus, and we've been here longer than Columbus, and we'll always be here. We have persevered all of this trouble since colonization, the genocide, the boarding schools, or residential schools. Our ancestors have gone through all this, and now our people have persevered since then, and we are the product of the people that they tried to erase.
Go ahead.
Hinch J, Stone Gold, Mary Crawford, Chaho Chifkadas. Hello and how are you? My name is Mary Crawford. I'm the current chairperson for our Mona group here in Muskogee. I am with the Muskogee Creek Nation tribe. And with Mona ever since they started. This is going into our 3rd year. I attended a meeting with our city council here in Muskogee with several other tribal members, and we presented how we wanted to bring Indigenous people to Muskogee, and we got it approved through the city council and got our proclamation from our mayor. And this is going to be our 3rd year.
Okay. Why should Indigenous Day be celebrated?
Indigenous Day should be celebrated because I feel like our history, our culture has gone down, and the children need to know their history. They need to know their culture with their tribes. And a lot of things are missing from our tribal knowledge, and we need to bring that back. We would need to bring our language back and have more language classes in our schools for our children to carry on what our elders left us.
OCO. My name is Brandy Ann Breyer, and I am a member of the Cherokee Nation. I have been the treasurer for the Muskogee, Oklahoma Native American Association for 4 years, since 2019.
Okay. Why should we celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day in Muskogee?
We should be celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day because for far too long, we have been celebrating the pale faces who have scourged the whole globe, wiping out people of color. And for some reason, they get the history books, they get the statues, they get the plaques, they get the flags, they get all the reverence. We should be celebrated because we are still here. We survived everything that they could think to destroy us, everything that they threw at us. We have survivors, and that strength, that perseverance, that will to survive, that will to not die, that should be celebrated.
How does Mona make an impact on the community?
Mona gives the Native Americans a space to exist. They give natives of every tribe a community that they know that is their own. And anytime that you have a space held for people to exist, they thrive better, they have a better sense of belonging. And so we work to undo the disenfranchising that was done to the natives. We bring community events, we bring fun things to do, we bring Indian tacos. We just let everybody in the Muskogee and surrounding communities of every tribe know that we're still here and we're still here for you, and we'd like to fellowship with you.
Hello, my name is Margaret Oberly Kelly, and I'm the secretary for Mona. I am Osage and Comanche. Osage say Hawaii in greeting, Comanche say Morewe. And I participate in Mona because I think it's important for us to highlight events of our, culture, our Native American ways, things that are good in our culture that children need to learn about and see and participate in. children are not necessarily taught these things in school. In all the states that have large Indian populations, the schools are not really receptive to teaching Indian history, as we learn that Indian history is a lot different than what's in the textbooks. And so we need to highlight those things ourselves. What I want Mona to do is to be a real functioning unit, organization, so that we can provide more programs for children, more programs for teens, more programs for young adults, college age students, and just a broad spectrum of programs and events for the Indian community in Muskogee to participate in. It seems like sometimes our Indian community is ignored or left out of things, and we don't really participate in all the things that are out there, sometimes because we don't feel welcome there. We don't feel like that's our thing. And so we want to do programs that are Native American things for people to feel comfortable in, to come and participate in, and just be at home with what we're doing. I think that would be a great goal for us to reach.
Myself, this feeling just can't be right, and I'm telling you, it's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love. It's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love. It's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love.